Hello everybody, this is Romi lesson number 1, which is connecting to the Romi and setting it up for your first time using teleop. And with this you're just going to be using your keyboard and mouse to control it. Later we might pull out some joysticks or maybe some controllers and use that, but for now we're just going to be simulating a joystick with buttons. So you should have your Romi, which is right here. You should always leave it on this when it's sitting on your table or if it's in like kind of an unsafe position, because these things like to roll away. But what we're going to do is we're going to turn it on, and it should make a little click. The way you do that is by hitting this little switch here. It should make that sound. To shut it off, you just switch it and then press the button there. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to go into our robotics resource library. They should be called Romi lesson slides or something like that. You can, we're going to full screen. Go to Romi lesson 1. You should do these first because they're just leading up to Romi lessons. Do that first. So Romi lesson 1. So this is a diagram of basically how Java works for FRC. So we'll also do like a little game with this. We'll try to, because if you can understand what this does, you'll be really far ahead, because I didn't get this, and it really, because if you don't get this, you don't really get much else. So you got to really understand the flow chart and how these systems interact with each other, how commands and subsystems and robot and timed robot versus command-based robots. You need to understand how these things interact with each other and work before you can move on to like the syntax stuff. So we'll work more on that, but for now we're just going to upload the code to the Romi and get you driving it around a little bit. So setting it up. So the first thing you want to do is look at the number on the bottom. This is number 3, okay? And you should be able to see that in your Wi-Fi. If there's a yellow light here, that means it's outputting a Wi-Fi signal. If not, we have to reflash it, and it's a whole thing. But you see Romi 3 there. The password's almost always team 2501. Otherwise, it's 2501, or someone else changed it. You can reflash it if you need to. I already had the password there, so I don't need to re-enter it. Power it on. We did that. We got the yellow light. So now we can connect to it, which we did over the Romi. Team 2501 is the password. Now we got to upload the code. So to find the code, the first thing you need to do is look up wpilib 2025 or whatever year you're doing. Hopefully we'll do 2025 for the Romis forever. But if that's changed, then you're going to look up something else. I should probably connect back to Biode before I'm going to go on the internet. But what we're going to do first is just download the new release for vscode for this. So you're going to come to this website here, wpilib 2025. This is 0.3.2. It's probably going to be 2026 by the time you look at this. But you're just going to download it for Windows. It should work for Windows 11. Yeah, Windows 11 there. So you do that. I already have it downloaded. It'll also download you some game tools. So if I go to here, it'll download this driver station, which is what we actually use for the robot. But you should see this appear, and it might take like 15 minutes to do. But once you get this working, we're going to open up 2025 wpilib vscode. And this is basically what you're going to be programming in. So this is your IDE or your environment that you're going to be programming in. And it's pretty cool because you can connect GitHub to it, which means you can access other people's code and pull it down to make changes or whatever you want to the code. I already have this in here, but where you get the starter code is you go into our classroom, and it should be under code here. You'll go into 25-26 year Romi practice code, and it's a little confusing here, but you want to go to the GitHub page that says Romi 2025 simple. And for now, we're just going to download. That's the Romi low battery sound, so I'll fix that. But what we're going to do first is just download the zip file. So we're going to go to code. You can also do this if you're familiar with using the URL, but for now you can just download zip. Okay, so we'll do that. It might take a little bit. Actually, it's pretty fast. It's 62 kilobytes. So open that up. Go to the file location. It's just in my downloads folder. So I'm going to extract it just really quick. And then what we're going to do is go back to our... I never opened it, did I? Close this stuff down. We're going to go back to our wpilib, and we're going to go to open folder right here. And we're going to open Romi 2025 simple right here, simple master branch. I can say that, it doesn't matter. And this is going to be your code for starting off with the Romi. They do have their own. If you want to go up here and do like new project, you can find your own. But this is what we're going to do for now. So in this environment, I've set up a few different things for you. So there's auto commands and tele commands. They're the same thing. One of the groups, the tele commands, are just used in teleop mode, and the auto commands are just used for autonomous mode. There's no difference in the code. It's just what I'm using it for in this. So you could put that all into one command folder if you really wanted to, or you could just leave it. Command groups is, it's a group of commands, so we're running all the autonomous commands under this. We'll talk about that more. Subsystems, you'll get to know that more too. But for right now, we're just going to connect to our Romi, and I'm just going to show you how to put new batteries in it really quick. So if your batteries are dead, and it's making this sound, you're going to go to the back of it, take the back thing off. There's going to be 6 batteries in there. Just take them all out. That's how you normally do it. Alright. And then if you need to recharge them, just put them in that recharger over there, or just give them to me or someone else. And then we'll just put the new batteries in the bottom. And then you'll reconnect to it. Just like that. Flat part, negative side goes to the spring. Yeah. Normal double A's. Back on. Snaps it on. Turn it back on. Okay. Make sure it's on this thing, especially when you're doing your first test. Okay, so now you're going to wait for this yellow light to come on here, and once that does, you can connect to it over Wi-Fi. So wait for that to happen. Okay, let's go to here. So we did the zip file, and we opened it in wpilib. Now that we have that, and we've connected to it over Wi-Fi, I'm getting the yellow light now, so it should be there. I have to refresh it, just close it, reopen it. Might take a little bit. But we're going to upload the code, and the way you do that is you're going to just leave it like this. You're going to click this little wpilib symbol in the corner up here, and you're just going to simulate the robot code. On the actual robot, we deploy the code and use the driver station that comes with the game tools. But for you, you're just going to simulate it. And you can do the same thing even without a Romi. You could still simulate the code. With that thing, we could simulate the code. But the Romis just use the simulator to control it, as a little environment to control it. So we'll connect to the Romi. And it might say connected, might say no internet, it doesn't really matter. We're going to simulate robot code. And this is just going to give you basic autonomous, it'll supposed to come forward, turn around, and come back, and a basic control system that you use WASD for. So when this opens for you, it might take a little bit. You're you're going to have a few different things here. Mine might look a little bit different than yours because I might have a couple more tables open. But basically what you want to do is you want to drag keyboard 0 over to joystick 0. And this is just like your joysticks of it, or your controllers available to you. So keyboard 0 is like WASD, and 1 is like ZXC. It's a different spot on the keyboard to control it. You can play around with it. Doesn't really matter. So you just want to drag that over to your joystick 0 because that's what it's called in the code. If you want to change which keys do what, go to keyboard 0 settings, and then in your axis 0 and axis 1, it might be axis 2. Yeah, so Romi axis 1 is forward and backward, axis 2 is turning. So W and S, it's kind of weird here, but these change it, should be the other way around. Yeah, so when you hold it down, it goes up this much. When you let go of it, it decays this fast. Maximum is 1, maximum is 1, same thing over here. So if you want to let it turn a little bit slower, we could do 1 here, and it'll turn at less speed. You can mess around with that if it turns too fast. You can declare your buttons here. So once we get to like actual buttons pushing, we can add buttons, remove buttons. So if button 1 turns on LED, you press Z in this case. But you can change all that later. So if you want to drive it around, you go to teleop mode. Oh yeah. So it's going backwards when I press W. So it was correct before. This is turning. Actually, it wasn't turning. Okay, I see what's happening. So axis 0 is A. You can mess around with the different axes and decay rates if you want to. But that's how you do that. Now the autonomous is going to be its own thing, so I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just going to press autonomous. And it's going to drive forward, turn around, come backward, turn around again. So that's what the autonomous does. And then disconnect. Disabled is, it's just in a different state. This is its own state, so it's just like teleop or autonomous. It's just not doing anything. So you can make that do something if you wanted to, like keep a camera on or like blink an LED when it's disabled. That'd be kind of cool. Disconnect is actually just disconnects from it. And the Romi has safeguards on it, so if it disconnects, it just stops doing everything. So that's an even safer disabled mode. Test is your own mode. I never use it. You can put it whatever you want in there. Usually you can get by with 2 modes. So that's basically it for the first lesson. You just upload it, drive it around, and take a picture of it, or a photo, a video of it, and we'll put that in there. So let me know if you have any problems, and good luck.